All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your 2 p.m. stretch break. I am TJ. I'm sure some of you know that. All right, so for today's class, pretty much you won't need a mat or anything. So we're going to start from bending from the hip and reaching for the toes. This lower body, there is going to be a sequence that we are going to follow with the stretches for our legs and our glutes. So right now we're stretching the back of the hamstrings or the back of the legs, slight bend in the knee, whether you can reach for your knees and feel it or reach mid-calf, or you can reach for your toes, as long as you maintain a flat back. All right, stand up slowly. And now I want you to stand with your feet wide. I'll slightly turn a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to sit back towards one side, so my right side, and my left leg is going to stay straight. So that way I feel it through the inner thigh. So just holding. So try to keep your body a little upright. Feeling the stretch through the left inner thigh. And now let's switch sides. So again, sitting back now towards the left side. Again, doing what is possible and keeping that right leg straight and feeling it through the inside parts of the right leg. Nice job. All right, so stand. And so we're going to grab our quad or grab the top of, well, actually grab the top of your foot for the quad stretch. If it's easier, you could always just rest your foot on a couch, a coffee table, a chair, and you can lean back just a little bit if you need to feel that stretch a little more. Otherwise, just grabbing the left foot, try to maintain your balance. Nice job. All right, so grabbing the other side. So grab the top of your right foot or the other foot, whichever one you've started off on. Again, be cautious about your balance. Just so you do not roll an ankle or fall. Again, use the chair or the coffee table or the couch if needed. So if you have anything that you can hang on to, whether it's like a desk or a table or your counter, wherever you are at home or at work, I want you to cross your left ankle over your right knee, standing, and I want you to sit back into it. If you feel like that's a challenge, take it to the chair if you need to, and then just cross that ankle over the knee and lean forward. You have two options. So just sitting back. So in yoga, this is more like what they call the lotus pose. So if you're able to kind of cross and, you know, that whole shtick. All right. So let's go to the other side. So figure 4, so right ankle is going to cross over the left knee and sitting back into it. And so the whole idea is feeling a stretch through the glute. So you may not be able to go as far with this stretch versus if you take it to the chair and you're doing the same thing. So again, doing what is doable for you. Nice job. All right. So now we're going to, I'll scoot back. All right. So left foot forward, right foot is back behind you. Both feet are pointing in the same direction. And I'm going to push that back right heel into the floor. So I feel the stretch in the calf or the back of the lower leg. And there's just a slight lunge. So it's just kind of me kind of leaning forward, but not too much. Since we all wear tennis shoes and some of us wear high heels, that those lower leg muscles are always in a flexed position. So those muscles do get tight. And we may experience cramps in the back of the legs. All right, so let's switch. So now pushing that left foot back, or that left heel back into the floor. Again, you don't have to take a very wide step. But again, feeling the stretch through the left lower leg in the back. Just breathing, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Being mindful not to hold your breath when you're doing the stretches. Nice job. All right, so let's do it again. So we're going to go one more round through, starting off with the hamstring stretch. So remember, soft knees, flat back, whether you're reaching for the knees, mid-calf, or if you are capable of reaching your toes while maintaining a flat back. Excellent job. All right, so let's switch for our inner thigh stretch. So again, I'll slightly angle myself towards the camera so that you see that I'm sitting back towards the right side with my left leg straight. Both feet are pointing in the same direction. Feeling the stretch through the inner thigh. Nice. All right, so let's switch and do the other side. So again, sitting back now into the left leg with the right leg stretched, or that right leg is straight. And again, I'm not bent over completely, but I'm trying to keep myself upright the best that I can with the stretch. Not that you should be very vertical, but you will be bent over. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the quad stretch. So again, whether you're grabbing your foot or you're using your couch or a coffee table or a chair to assist you if you need it. All right, let's do the other side. So you may be on your left side. And again, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Trying to bring fresh air, oxygen into those lungs. I think sometimes we just forget to breathe and that air becomes very stale within our lungs. All right, so for the next one is the stretch for our glutes. So figure 4, so left ankle over right knee, and again, sitting back into it. And again, if you have to use the chair, use the chair. As long as you're feeling it. So in my case, I'm going to feel it on my left side. And again, sitting back into it, it's probably going to feel tight to some, especially for one side versus the other. So I'm going to switch. So now I'm going to cross right ankle over left knee. I'm going to sit back into it. And again, use whatever it is that you have that's around you that's about counter height. Because if you use like a couch or something where maybe it's a little too low, it might be a little difficult to achieve. Otherwise, use the chair. All right. So right leg back and straighten that back leg, and then just slightly lunge forward and feeling that stretch through the back of the lower leg. Excellent. And again, making sure to breathe. All right, let's switch and do the other side. All right. So now the left leg is back behind me with the heel pushed down into the floor. It doesn't need to be a wide stance, but at least wide enough where you could at least push that heel into the floor. So think like a normal walking, like, the space, your stride, what feels comfortable to you. Pushing that back left heel into the floor. Nice job. All right. So now let's move to the upper body. All right. So we're going to bring the left arm across, and I'm going to use my right hand to either grasp my left hand, or you could grasp the left elbow, whichever one you feels a little more natural or doesn't feel so awkward. Sometimes you're trying to figure out the movement. So it's just my left arm crossing in front of my body. Excellent. All right, let's switch. So now my right arm is going to cross in front of my body, either grabbing my right elbow or my right hand, and trying to keep the shoulders down, making sure that the shoulders aren't creeping up close to your ear. The idea is feeling the stretch through the back and not so much creating more tension within the neck, especially if that shoulder creeps up or starts to elevate towards your ear. All right. Okay, so next one that we're going to do. So right hand flat on your back. Left hand is going to be behind you. So I'll turn around so you can see what that looks like. So the idea is to see how mobile or that flexibility within your shoulders. So if you're able to get your middle fingers as close as possible, that is a good sign. So now I'm going to switch. So my left hand is going to be flat on my back, my upper back, and my left arm is going to come behind me, or my right arm is going to come behind me. This one may, again, it's a challenge because if we have any shoulder issues, sometimes it's hard to get this hand right up behind the back. For some people, it might be back here on the lower. Maybe some people have a hard time trying to get their hand flat on their upper back. A little bit of a stretch, but you can really start to notice maybe where it needs a little bit of extra work, within the stretch. So maybe your right side's good, but maybe your left side needs a little help. All right, so let's stretch out the biceps. So we're going to hold out the left arm and we're going to pull with the right hand on the left palm. And we're going to stretch out our arm. Nice job. Let's move it to the other side. Nice job. All right, so the hands dropping beside your side, and you can either lift the arms behind you straight, You could clasp them together behind you and lift to feel that stretch a little more. Or you can grasp or clasp your hands, place it back behind your head, push your elbows back, and push your head back into your hands. Since that first sequence that we did took a little bit long, we won't go through this one again, but let's finish off with hands straight up in the air. I'll scoop back as far as I can. And so I'm kind of standing close to a wall, but just slightly leaning back. And again, even if it's more so the hands or the arms going back and not so much you bending from your waist, for some people that might be a little hard or a little challenging on your low back. But again, it's all about feeling that stretch through the chest, through your core, and through your hips. All right. Excellent. All right. So that is where we will stop today, since we kind of ran out of time to do another sequence. But for tomorrow, we have metabolic conditioning at 8:30. We have express abs at noon. Both are virtual. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the weather before it changes this week.